Welcome to the Magic Makers podcast. I'm your host, Jason DeRocha, and today we have Sally Nee, franchise owner here in Kitchener-Waterloo. Sally, how are you today?
I'm good. Thank you, Jason. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thanks so much for joining me. If it's okay, let's start with a little bit about yourself. You know, who you are, what territory you own at Sportball, and how long you've been with us.
Sure. Hi everyone. My name is Sally Nee. I own and operate football franchise across Kitchener, Waterloo, Cambridge. So my husband and I officially took over the territory in September 2025. So we're still pretty new, even though I'm relatively new as an owner. Football as a brand has been around for a long time. So for us, stepping into this territory just felt like joining something that's established, but also with a lot of room to grow locally.
Thank you. Yes, that's right. And I mean, you know, for us, when we first met, Sally, it was refreshing to obviously speak to somebody with your background, your skill set, your expertise. You're also a parent. You also have a little one. Do you mind talking a little bit about your background, your expertise, as well as, you know, the perspective as you have as a parent?
Yeah, sure. So actually our first experience with football was actually, as Jason mentioned, as a parent. So my son was born during the pandemic with very limited, outdoor time, sports related activities. So after pandemic, I was looking for a program for him that introduced sports in a fun, in a pressure-free way, something that focused on, skill building and building the confidence. So that's how we landed with the football program, and my son really enjoyed it, and he still enrolled in the football program for a couple of seasons, and he really loved it.
Thank you, Sally. So when you registered, how did you choose Sportball amongst the many other program opportunities that exist for kids, like, you know, swim and karate? And what made you decide on Sportball?
So one of the things I love about the football program is that one of the signature program is the multi-sport program. So it's a one program, but every week the kids get introduced to one of the 8 sports. So that's something really stood out. And another thing that really stood out to me is that football isn't really about, creating an elite athlete at the age of 3. It's more about, building the fundamentals, building coordination, the listening skills for kids, and building their confidence.
That's very true. And what was it about this as a franchise that made you say, you know, maybe this is something that we want to own and operate ourselves? You know, at this point in your life, you know, you have a lot on the go. You both have full-time jobs. You have a young child at home. What was it about this opportunity that made sense for you?
Yeah, so I would say I didn't really wake up on one day thinking that, oh, I want to own a kids sport franchise, right? So it was more like a gradual realization. And at the point, we were like, okay, both me and my husband, we have a daytime job, and we're always looking for an investment. But we're looking for something that involves a lot of people interaction, because what we believe is that you can have the best product, but if people behind it don't believe in it, and if they don't communicate, if they don't deliver well, the product just won't last.
Yeah.
So during the touch point with the football corporate team with Jason, it made me realize that how great the product is. And in the meantime, how great the coach team and the leadership team is. The more I learned about the brand, the more I realized how great the program is structured. Every class and every game that the coaches do actually has a purpose, even though from the outside it may just look like a pure fun game. But this is something that I was thinking back. When I was a kid growing up, I wish something like this actually exists. But unfortunately, back then, we didn't really have a great program like this. So that's how we realized, okay, this product is great. And the impact that we want to make out of this investment is also great, because we've always loved building things. We love to build a team. We love to have a good impact on the communities. And football just felt like it's a great, meaningful way to do that. because you are not just running programs, you are impacting the local families, the kids, and you're also making impact on young coaches as well, because they're, students out of school. So yeah, that's how we decided to, go with the football franchise.
I love it. I love it. I think you touched on some really important points there. I think making a difference in children's lives in this way, so purposefully, in a curriculum that's designed to have an impact both on their social as well as their physical skills that can transfer to different aspects of their lives is something that we try our best to do. The other piece that I think you highlighted that most people forget is the impact that you can have on a young professional's life. Having someone learn how to be a mentor and coach and leader to a young child really does transfer to other aspects of their career and adds to their experience platform. So it's amazing that those reasons are the reasons why you decided to become a franchisee. That's fantastic. And you so far so good, right? You're continuing to build and grow in Kitchener-Waterloo from where what we were doing in the spring and summer of last year to where you are now. Maybe if you don't mind, can you talk a little bit about your growth, your team in Kitchener-Waterloo and your approach to building?
Yeah, sure. So when we took the franchise over from corporate, we only had 2 locations with a team of 2 coaches. And since then, we've grown to a team of 8 coaches.
Wow.
And we've built out to 7 locations, and our registration is up more than 100%.
Amazing.
So these are the growth that we've made so far. And this year we are really looking forward to, get into different areas surrounding and talk to the local community to see if we can have more exposure into the schools and the community centers.
The impact that you guys have had on your social media presence, when you go out to programs, what you say to parents, how you get them involved and engaged with one another, it really is remarkable. And I remember when you launched, it really sparked a lot of inspiration and motivation to the rest of the franchise system. And I think that's one of the benefits of being part of a network like this. It's everyone learns from one another and grows together. And, so thank you so much for the contributions that you've made, even though it's been a short few seasons that you've been with us. We've started to feel that right across the system. So really appreciate your efforts.
Thanks, Jason. This is something that we really enjoy doing, even though we have daytime job, but building a team of good coach crew and, me and my husband, we focus on different aspects of the operations. We're really making a great team for our KW.
Agree. So if you don't mind, let's transition here to the lessons that you can pick up from sports. I know you and Chen are obviously, huge advocates of sport and physical literacy. What are some of the lessons that you maybe have gleaned from sports in your career that you can apply to being a business owner?
So I would say one of the biggest lessons I learned from sports that helped me as an owner is that progress matters more than perfection. So when you play sports, right, especially like a kid, you are not great on day one. You sometimes you fall, sometimes you lose games, you miss points. But if you keep showing up every week and you keep practicing and keep learning, you eventually get better. So that mindset has helped me so much as I build out this business. Just to give you some examples, there are days when things don't go as planned, right? Like coach show up at the facility, but the doors are locked. Or sometimes you get tough feedback from the parents just because, their expectation versus what we offer. Sometimes there are some misalignment there.
Mm-hmm.
But sports taught me not to take those moments as just as failure, but more as a learning moments.
Yeah.
So these type of stuff really gets reflected from my day-to-day operations. Things come up, and as a team, internally, we will always look back, learn from it, adjust, and make improvement week after week. So that's something that I think really helped me as an owner. Another big lesson I would say is teamwork, because, in sports, you can't do everything just yourself. For us, as owners, that means that we trust our coach crew. We support them. We create an environment where they feel confident and they feel motivated. So that's another lesson that I learned as an owner.
those are two very important parts to sport ball's culture as well. And having a growth mindset and making sure that people are putting in the work and understand that process is more important than, like you said, than outcome and perfection. I think that's very, very important. And the team, yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, I've had the pleasure of being a part of sport ball for 20 years. And the one thing that I've learned is it's not any one individual that's got us here. This has been a collective effort from the back end, our administrators, people who work in our marketing and promotions department and business development, all the way to the front line with all of our coaches and our program standards managers and, you know, our training directors. It really takes a team to build a business. And that's ultimately what a business is, right? It's a group of people coming together in order to achieve a mission, and hopefully a mission that makes a positive impact in this world. So that's wonderful. Two solid takeaways. Sally, what's your favorite part about being a sport ball owner? Is there anything that happens in your day to day that you enjoy most? And then I'll follow that with a second question, which is, if someone was thinking about becoming a sport ball franchisee, what would you tell them? What are some words of wisdom that you would share with them?
So I would say my favorite part of being a sport ball owner is really to see the kids grow. And that is not just about like physical growing up, but like emotionally as well. There are so many incidences where I watch a kid who was shy in week 1, but gradually as this kid's going through the sport ball program, I can see that, like, you know, he start to raising his hand, trying new skills, giving high five to the coach. By the end of the season, like, he's just like so confident and, you know, having fun in the program. So that's just something incredibly rewarding to me. Another thing that I really like about being a sport ball owner is building the connections in the community. We got invited to a couple of local events in winter where I got the chance to, you know, meet not only the local families, but also the local businesses. In that area, I feel like people are so friendly and they really want to help each other out and make a better community in the KW area. So that's something that I really enjoy about. In terms of the second question as to, you know, anything that I want to pass to the future franchisees. So I would say you have to generally care about people, because this business is really about building the relationship with parents, kids, coaches, and the local community. So it's the investment, but it's a meaningful investment. If you enjoy building something that has a positive impact, I think sport ball is a really special opportunity for you.
Ooh, I love that. If you don't mind, I'm going to go back to your first point. The impact that you can have on a child, both physically, but also socially and emotionally. You know, both of my kids ended up going through the sport ball program. And I think that was my biggest takeaway as well, was, wow, they're not just learning how to play sports here. Like, there are positive associations that they have with a coach or a mentor, being able to be in a space with their peers. It's unlike school, right?
Yeah.
Academics, and you're sitting at a desk or you're out playing at recess. You know, but being in sports with your peers, it's different. You almost have the social skills that are innately built into sport. They have to deal with things like turn taking and winning and losing, and, you know, all of those types of skills that apply to different aspects of your life. They could really be learned through the experience of sport, which is. Do you find that there's any surprises that come out when you're actually in the gym with kids that you weren't even anticipating?
So we have a couple of kids that they when we took over the franchise, it's their first season. I think that was back in summer. There were multiple kids that I actually saw them coming back in the fall season, and I've already seen a great improvement on their confidence level, on their social skills. And the parents, like, they reach out to me and they were like, this is the absolutely great program. Everyone was talking about it, and they were talking to their friends about the program, how great the program is. So this something really lightened me up as to, you know, this is the impact that we want to make on the local communities.
Yeah, the word of mouth and how you build your business can grow just by having a positive experience in a class with a child, and the ripple effect. How many parents will say, oh my goodness, you have got to sign your children up this Saturday for a sport ball class to go see Coach Sally. Like, it's incredible. One more quick question for you, Sally, before we wrap up here. A lesson that you've taught a child that you think adults have forgotten. Is there anything that stands out for you?
Yeah, so I think one lesson that we teach kids at the football program, and think sometimes adults forget, is that we always want to celebrate the efforts, not just the results. So during the class, we always praise kids for trying a new skill, and we praise them for listening well, and we praise them for helping a teammate. And at the end of the day, it's not just praising them for scoring a score in a soccer lesson, right? So it's all about celebrating individual efforts throughout. So I think that mindset really builds confidence and resilience, and it's something that adults us could really use too, especially in our work life.
Yeah, we are also results oriented, and sometimes we forget to look back and see how far we've come. And the one thing I think that I love about a sport ball class is that every child is encouraged to progress at a rate that they're comfortable with. So you're not really comparing one child to the next child. It's where did that child start, and where are they today? And that journey is what we celebrate the most.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to see what you're able to achieve with your husband in Kitchener-Waterloo. I think that, you have put an incredible framework together for sport ball, and I really hope that you can continue to grow this and hit the targets that you've set out for yourself to achieve. But to your last point, just to enjoying the journey as you go there. And maybe just last question for you, Sally. What's the vision for you in sport ball? Like, do you have a bigger vision, a bigger goal? What would you like to achieve over the course of the next 3 to 5 years?
Thanks, Jason. So, again, like my husband and I, we're really grateful to be part of the sport community. Right now we're building something here in Kitchener, Waterloo, and Cambridge, and we're very excited to see where it goes. But in the long term, we really want to see if we want to expand this something to, Asia, in China, because there's definitely a market there. So that's something that we are looking forward to it as well.
Beautiful. Well, I can't wait for that. I think our expansion into India was very exciting in 2026, and you and Leo would just be absolutely phenomenal representatives of the brand over in Asia. So we're very excited about that, but one foot in front of the other, and we'll enjoy the journey together until we get there.
100%.
Well, Sally, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today. It's been a wonderful conversation, and I'll see you out at the field.
Thanks, Jason. Thank
All
you.
right. Take care.
Take care.